Yeah, you start.
Okay, I start.
Yeah?
Hi, my name is Filip Rybatsky. My friends call me also Ribbe. So yeah, and I'm from Germany, and my roots are from Poland. From Poland, and in Germany I represent the city Hannover, which is in the north of Germany. I'm 26 years old, and I'm dancing since 2005. Yeah, so 15 years. I started with choreography, and 10 years ago I started doing hip hop freestyle. So, and in those years, my style changed, or my interest in other style grew. So I did a lot of experimental, and since 2 years I'm fully in house with this guy. We started, so he was first, and then we started practicing house together, because house is just amazing, and the house is life, and
Yes.
we love house, and house is just a beautiful culture.
Nice, yeah. And I'm Fabi, and I am 24 years old, and I also represent Hannover, Germany. I was born in Munich, but I live in Hannover since I am 2. I've been dancing since 10 years now, and I started with choreography and then got into freestyle like 5 years ago, I would say. Started with like experimental freestyling, and then during the time I started to get more invested into house, and that's my main style now, I would say. That's also why we're here in Ossa, House One Style.
Hell yeah.
It's not as big as in France, but it's still there. It is there. There is scenes in Germany, like, for sure. So it's not that it's just like super underground and there's only a couple of people doing it. There is a scene for sure, especially in hip hop, I would say. There is a very, very big scene, and I mean, of course, there's like smaller scenes in like cities, but I would say the most is happening in the west of Germany, like in I don't know how to say this.
NRW.
Yeah, NRW is like it's a state of Germany, and there's a lot of big cities like very close to each other, so there's a lot of people anyways. And then there's also the most dancers, I would say. There, most of the stuff is happening there. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, when it comes to I would say, like, from my experiences, when it comes to the capital of street dance, it's Düsseldorf.
Yeah.
There are the most events and everything, and Düsseldorf, it also belongs to this area, NRW, which is actually Nordrhein-Westfalen. And like Fabi said, in this area the huge towns are very close to each other, and it's super easy to get from one city to the other city, and it's also the state, let's say state.
Yeah.
It's packed with the most people in Germany.
Yeah.
There are the most people.
Yeah.
And what about Berlin?
Berlin. Yeah, Berlin is a city for itself. When it comes to street dance, yes, street dance is represented there, but I would say not as big as in the other state.
Yeah.
Berlin. When I think of Berlin is very in the commercial.
Yeah.
It's very in the commercial, and I actually can't say anything because there is street dance too, but when I'm thinking of dancing in Berlin, it's definitely more commercial.
Yeah. Well, for me it's not so easy to answer, because when you sent me the questions, I actually thought about, okay, how much have I actually seen of like what's going on in Germany, and I noticed that I haven't been traveling so much in Germany to see how the scenes are in different cities. So for me it's kind of hard to answer that question. I can only speak about Hannover. or mainly about Hannover, because there I know what's going on. And I mean, the scene is good. There's a lot of very, very, very good people there for sure. Like, we have amazing practice opportunities. You can go have free practices every day if you want to. There's amazing dancers you can learn a lot from. I would say it's mainly hip-hop when it comes to freestyle, and then Hannover also has a very big choreography scene, but the scenes are not so well connected, I would say, or maybe not yet. Maybe it's gonna happen, nobody knows. But yeah, I mean, also the events in Hannover, they always have a good vibe, I would say. Like, it's solid events, you know. It's fun to go there, participate. You have opportunities in front of your own house, you know. But there's also a lot of things to learn for everyone, for sure, to make it even better. Yeah, things to improve. Oh yeah, there's a lot of things to improve. Yeah, especially for me, also because I come from there, from the choreography scene, and now diving more into like dance and its history and its culture, I am just realizing that there's a lot of things that need to change in order to respect the culture properly. And yeah, I mean, that's also why we're here. We're educating ourselves to bring it back to our hometown, to try to make a change, you know, to like educate more, or maybe not even educate, but just to help, to spread more awareness about what's actually going on. And yeah, I would say that's like a major issue. And then also like, yeah, the separation of freestyle and choreo is still pretty big, I would say. And I mean, we've been doing our part already, I would say, by having open sessions in the choreo studio, you know, and bringing people there. And the younger generation is really hungry, so I think it's on a good way, very good way. Yeah.
Yeah, to add on this, I'm since 10 years in the scene, and I actually have been in every city where events happened. Like, I traveled a lot through Germany, so I could see the scene and how the vibe is, how the people are. The scene is very young. I'm not old, but from the people who are there in the event, you can see that when it comes to the age, the scene is very young, definitely. Of course, we also have OGs, let's say Storm, definitely, like, he is the man. I would say Germany, the main focus is definitely on battles. Like, when you're at the battle, you see, okay, the people are in their focus, the people, they want a battle. In the beginning, of course, I was the same. Hey, I want to go there, do the pre-selection and battle. And after a time, I realized, when I got more involved into the culture, into the spirit of the culture, what is behind everything, I kinda missed the part of coming together and dance together, sharing their spirit, sharing the love of dance. And this is, after a time, I realized. In the beginning, I really didn't knew that there was a part, or the jam, or a club that people came together and dance, because I grew up in this scene as practice. You go to the battle, and when you're done, you just go. You just go. And I would say it's still like this. It's still like this, definitely. It depends on the event. We have a lot of events, like, of course, before Corona. We have huge events, like we had Just a Boo. Okay, Just a Boo is not anymore there, but let's say we had Funkenstyles. Funkenstyles. Back then we had in Hannover, or what is this called? I don't remember. It's from Max. Anyway. Free Spirit Festival, yes. Yeah, then we have Random Circuits. Random Circuits, this event is amazing. Over the years, it got more packed because the people knew, okay, it's a dope event. And the organizer makes really clear, okay, there's the battle part, but Also, let's celebrate the culture, people coming together and dance and dance. Also, there is always a dope ass after party where people come together and just celebrate ourselves, right? And yeah, about the vibe, the people coming together, you know the scene, you know the people from the other cities, you exchange. What I can say, or what I witness when it comes to the bigger events, it's like this: from the certain styles, the popping dancers, they always jam together. If there's a break, they're always with a speaker outside, and they always go on the street and do rounds every time. The house dancers, they're always inside and dance to the music. And the lockers as well, they are kind of with the poppers. They're with the poppers a lot. And when it comes to the hip hop dancers, and this is the thing what makes me kind of sad. Of course, it's a break. People can do whatever they want to do, but you don't see them dance. I speak for the German scene. And people can hate me for this, or maybe they agree, but this is just what I witnessed. In the bigger events, always the hip hop dancers, they are like, okay, pre-selection is done, and the break, we don't cipher, we don't exchange with each other, let's go outside and do certain things. Yeah, but this is what I witnessed. Of course, there are some who exchange. Yes, it's not everyone, but when it comes to the total, then I would say the hip hop dancers are the most one who kind of go and do other shit. You also asked about conflicts. I mean, there are always people who have conflicts, but I wouldn't say that I witnessed like a big conflict about the city to the other city. No more. Yeah, you hear this guy is maybe not that cool with the other guy, and hey, if there's a battle with a lot of people, with a huge crowd, they use it and they do a call out, and yeah, then the problem was solved. Or not?
I would say it's hip hop. And then it gets actually kind of tricky for me. Breaking, maybe. Yeah,
breaking is huge, but I also would say the breaking scene and the other styles are kind of separately. Yeah. They're kind of separately. Like, of course, there are events where it's also the category breaking. Yes, but I would say in Germany it's very separated. Yeah. Very separated. But on the top, it's hip hop, definitely. We have lots of hip hop dancers, and also very well known one.
Yeah. I mean, there is people doing popping, locking, house for sure. But I would say these are scenes. Well, yeah, I cannot really speak about popping and locking. I don't know what is happening around, but I know that there is interest. And that the scenes are growing. Also in house, I feel like the house people, house heads from like different cities are connecting more and doing more stuff together. And I also think there's a lot of interest in house from also younger generations. But yeah, the scenes there's no comparison to hip hop. Hip hop is just a thing for itself, and then everything else, Yes. But it's there, and let's see where it goes. I don't know. I feel like it's a hard question to answer so general, because then of course it's happening, but then at the same time it's also not happening. Like, if you have a crew and there's multiple dancers from different styles, of course the crew will be there to support you when you go and dance, in a battle.
It really depends on where you're at, about the event.
Yeah.
Yes, and of course I think you see it every day when there's the house category and then the breakers are leaving or the hip hop dancers are leaving. I mean, hey, that's totally fine. If you don't feel house, then you don't understand house. Like, point. And I am, like, I speak for myself. I am interested in every style, and I support the people, and I'm sitting there even I don't know them, and just support. I think we all know this problem, but yeah. People who want to support people who don't want to support. It's up to you.
Well, before Corona, every weekend somewhere in Germany, multiple events even sometimes. Like as we said in NRW in the west of Germany, full of events, full. And maybe it's not like, oh yeah, super big events, you know, but there's always an event for sure. And then also, yeah, of course, in other parts of Germany as well. Yeah, as we already said, it's a lot of hip hop. And then, yeah, OutSide battles also kinda, I would say. And then, yeah, sometimes you have like subcategory, like other categories, like then you have a popping battle or a house battle, you know. Yeah. But yeah, it's a lot of hip hop in all style, I would say.
Yeah, when it comes to the styles, I would put hip hop on the first and popping on the second.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Locking is not that much represented, just at the bigger events. The bigger events, but not as in the small events. Yes. And I would say we have always more small events, and then let's say every second month we have a huge one in Germany.
Free Spirit, Random Circles,
Funkin' Styles.
And
back then we had crazy moves. What else? Then here, Area 47.
Yeah, Area 47 battle is big, and then also in Hannover actually the breaking battle of the year.
Yes.
And then there's also qualifiers for Silverback. So that's also pretty big.
Battle of the year.
Yeah, Battle of the Year is also really big. Also, for this case, we can just speak for ourselves. Yeah. Like, I think it always depends on like how are you working together with the city, whatever, you know. It's also a lot about contacts, who knows who, and stuff like this. So this is just about our experience. So we also throw an event, and yes, we are lucky that we get a studio provided where we also like taught or were students for a very, very long time. And the owner is very nice, and he gives us the whole studio space, so that's really nice. But then when it comes to like fundings from the city and getting support, it's hard. It's really, really hard. It's a lot of paperwork, and then even when you do the whole paperwork, the chances of you getting the money is not so high. And most of the fundings you could get, or that we would also apply for, are not even state fundings. So it's not like coming from the city or from the state or from the government, but it's like private institutions that would support the event, you know. So that's kind of hard. You have to do a lot by yourself, or as I said, I mean, maybe for some it's easier because they know some people, or that they have a bigger community working with it, you know, where people are more involved into like cultural institutions or anything. But for us as people who just started organizing event, it's kind of hard because we first have to establish all this to the connection to the city or to the cultural institutions or whatever, you know, because since we are so connected to the dance studio, which is a private studio, it's not funded by the state or anything, it's a private owned studio. There never was this connection to the city or anything, so that's something we have to establish by ourselves, and then maybe in the future it's going to get easier. I feel like the first step is always the hardest, but once you got there, you know how to do it, and then it's more of an ongoing circle. But to get to the first step where you get it, it's definitely a lot of work. And then possibilities depends. It really depends on what you want, what you're doing, what is your concept. And I mean, we have good possibilities, good opportunities to realize the things that we want to realize. Of course, now it was a little hard, everything with Corona, but in general, I feel like that's also a good thing in Hannover, maybe, that's not so big, you know, and that you will encounter the same people mainly when it comes to these kind of things. Then that is easy to build connections also, in a sense, you know. But we're working on it, so there is possibilities for sure. There might be is funding. I mean, actually, our training spot is from the city. It's from the city. It's a free space offered by the city. It's in a youth house. It's not a youth center. It's like bigger. They also have like music lessons there and sports and like a lot of activities for young people. And they provide the freestyle dancers with a room where we can practice for free. Yes. 3-4 times a week.
Yes. 5
times a week actually, if we take the other one as well.
Yes. But yeah, we have this thing in Hannover, which is called Hannover Hip Hop Community, and I also work for them. So with the youth center, which is really, really good. So the hip hop community Hannover does get support. And shout out to B-Boy Space, Mehmet, representing Hannover City, the head from Hip Hop Community Hannover. And so yeah, like I said, he's the head and he's working a lot. So he is actually working with the government. And we are very grateful to have him as the head for the Hip Hop Community Hannover. Like he's an OG in this game. He's a really OG in this game, and he also started Battle of the Year back then. So when he's throwing events, of course he does get a little bit money from the government, and he's really doing an amazing job. Like Mr. Wiggles came to Hannover and he said, "Hey yo mate, hey, €5 for Mr. Wiggles workshop," and this is just amazing. And he's bringing so much to Hannover, so much to the scene. And one thing to add, Hannover, like our hometown, should appreciate more.
Yeah, totally.
It is in front of the door. It is in front of the door. And hey, use it or lose it.
Yeah.
Use it or lose it. Really. But maybe I said now something negative, but in total, I think our city with the community, we are doing actually a good job. But when it comes to the actual question, like we are organizers too, we are struggling with help from the government.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. Yeah, also the thing, dance in Germany is dance.
Yeah, it's like ballet.
Yeah.
Like contemporary, that's what the people are interested in. Street dance, there's not much awareness about street dance in society, I would say. So it's really hard.
Yeah.
Really, really hard.
When you talk with someone from the government, hey, about help, how could we get help for money? And the person in front of you from the government does have nothing to do with dance. And we say like, yeah, it's a whole culture and people are coming together and we celebrate the culture. They would look at us like if they would see a train, like a central station. What's happening here? Like they don't understand.
Can you do moonwalk? Can you do backflip?
Yes.
These kind of questions.
They don't understand, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
But still,
openness. It's openness. Yeah. If you go to a studio, take a class, I would say around 10 euros. Workshop, I would say, is more expensive. It really depends on how long the workshop is, what kind of workshop,
the scene,
who's teaching the scene, who's offering the workshop. But if it's like a 1.5 hour whatever workshop, I would say like 25 to like 40 euros somewhere, maybe. Sometimes you also have it cheaper, sometimes only 10 euros.
Yeah, Mr. Wiggles, 5 euros.
Yeah, Mr. Wiggles, 5. It really depends. I think there's a price range for sure. Then teachers, you mean how much you pay in order to have a teacher for a workshop?
When it comes to the total, I would say, and really it depends on the person and depends on the scene, like choreo or freestyle, but I would say like from 100 to 500.
Yeah. And then entry fee for events, also again really depends on the event. I would say somewhere between 5 and 15 euros. Yeah. Even 20 sometimes when it comes to a big event, but then maybe there's also more included, you know, like more days or whatever, you know. So it also really depends on the offer again. But then like the local battles, 3 to 7 euros maybe, you know. It really depends. What event?
It's a good one.
3 to 7, and then the bigger one somewhere between 10 and 20, I would say. and then sometimes there's like a one that's like in between that's maybe 10 or 12, something like that. Yeah, theater companies for sure, but I would say they're mainly based on ballet, contemporary, modern, and then yeah, of course you can apply, but then you have to audition, and there will be a lot of people being with you in the audition. So yeah, your chances of getting the job, I don't know, really depends. I think it's really individual. What are they looking for, you know? And then you just have to be lucky. Then TV, you just have to be lucky also to be seen by someone who does these kind of production, who is choreographing. There is some agencies for sure where you can apply to be a part of. There are agencies, especially in Berlin and in Cologne. I would say these are like the more commercially cities, I would say, where you can really get a job also, like on TV or for whatever advertisements. Yeah, so there is agencies. You can do stuff. You can apply, but of course, yeah, you have to bring talent. Like it's not that you're just gonna get in. You have to be good because there's a lot of dancers. And then, yeah, you just have to fit their profile, and then you can find something. And otherwise, yeah, you just have to try to establish yourself, ask if you could teach, ask if you can do stuff. If you're not so into like TV productions or theater or whatever, but you want to work as a dancer, you have to do a lot of work by yourself. Ask, teach, and then, yeah, just go around, prove that you have something or you have something to offer, and then yeah, maybe you get a chance.
I got actually opportunities, like I was asked for some commercial jobs. Fabi just said it, if you fit in the profile, then you fit. Yeah. So when it came to like dancing, of course they check your Instagram and this and that and everything, and they see a picture of you, yes. But yeah, like my problem, their problem, let's say with me, is my height. I'm 1 meter 94, and I actually was asked for a commercial for a car brand in Germany, and to do a video, like the commercial video, and then they saw that I'm taller than the actual actor, and they said, okay, no, you're too tall, but actually you would fit with your movement and everything. Then I got asked for background dancing, and I'm taller than the other dancers, so again, no. And there are a lot of opportunities for commercial, and as well there are a lot of dance style and dance companies. We have an agency in Berlin. They properly just go with street dancers. Shout out to Anya. Shout out to Anya, Berlin. She is doing an amazing good job. She helps the street style dancers. Can you say street style dancers with jobs, and she's doing
and good jobs.
Yes,
like really
Anya,
good jobs.
shout out.
Yes.
Kick it. Just kick it, grow, and whoever watches this video and you feel like, hey, you want to do something for your scene, the first step is definitely the most hardest, but once you jump over the wall or into the cold water, the water will get warmer, and you do bigger and bigger steps, and always know you always fall, like you always come back, and you're like, okay, why the hell am I doing this? But always remember, there is a younger generation who is interested and who wants to learn and who wants to grow, and also who wants to keep the culture alive. And yes, you are a part of the culture, and it is, I think, because we all belong to the culture, it is our responsibility to take care of the culture. Yes. Because somehow, maybe unconsciously, we decided to be in this culture. Not to be, but to be
a guest.
To be a guest in this culture, yes. When it comes to like the actual saying, to be a guest in this culture. But hey, let's live it, let's love it, and let's, as guests, let's take
educate.
care of, yes, educate
Yourself, educate the people, know the culture, support each other, but also just love and enjoy dancing, because that's why we do it, right?
Yeah.
Because we come together and use this as a tool of communication. Like, we're sitting here together, you're from Slovakia, we're from Germany, we're in Sweden, and we're here for the same purpose, and that's dancing, and that's amazing. So dance is power, for sure, and we have more power than we think,
yes,
in my opinion. So let's go! Yeah!